On behalf of the Kingston and St. Ann Municipal Corporation, I welcome this facility and look forward to continued collaboration because the people of Kingston and indeed Jamaica deserve nothing but less.
Wait a minute.
The people of Kingston and indeed Jamaica deserve nothing but less.
You're fired.
The PNP karma is here and them can't deal with it. Them can't deal with it. PNP never know say the day would have come when the politics of purity, the Bobby Pickersgill committee would come down to shambles. Mark Golden is mad. Wanna listen to this?
The People's National Party unequivocally condemns the government's latest move to oust the Auditor General as a commissioner of the Integrity Commission. This move represents yet another calculated step in a broader pattern of deliberate and dangerous assaults by this administration on Jamaica's anti-corruption architecture.
Like any other sensible somebody in a Jamaica or anywhere they exist, the DPP agrees that there is a conflict of interest, having the Auditor General being a part of the Integrity Commission.
Pamela is somebody who I know and I care for.
But it's not about Pamela Monroe.
No. I care for. I just want to make it quite clear. Sure. And I admire her. But I have always thought that as Auditor General, just like as DPP, she should not have been sitting on that commission. It would have been better for her not to sit. So that at all times, every single entity, especially the public servant, must always be able to come under the aegis of the Auditor General. She and I are the only public servants who are enshrined in the Constitution. And in the same way that I cannot just sit on any board willy-nilly, because I may get some sort of conflict down the road in my position as DPP.
The Auditor General has been a member of Jamaica's principal integrity oversight bodies since independence. The JLP's argument for the removal of the Auditor General from this critical role is spurious. There is no constitutional or other impediment to having the Integrity Commission audited by the independent professional audit firm, which is a well-established practice utilized by various public sector bodies.
Public bodies are to be audited by the Auditor General, so there is no need to get an independent body to do that work. Make the Auditor General do for them job, which includes auditing the Integrity Commission so we can prevent the foolishness that we had to deal with before.
The synergistic benefits of the Auditor General being a member of the Integrity Commission in the fight against corruption outweigh the contrived arguments to the contrary, which is why it is specifically provided for in the Integrity Commission Act that was passed under this administration.
Mark Golding is always missing the mark. Now you tell me, what sense does it make to include the Auditor General as a part of the Integrity Commission, thus enabling the Integrity Commission to continue the foolishness that they used to do without being under proper scrutiny? There is a clear conflict of interest to include the Auditor General in the Integrity Commission. It's just common sense and simple logic that the Auditor General has the independence to carry out their duties without any internal issues from the department in which they function.
This latest move must be seen in the context of a broader, deeply troubling pattern under the JLP government.
Mark Golden a real conspiracy theorist, and he loves to play victim when he doesn't have his way. Can you imagine handing this man the reins of power, being such a sensitive individual, being so reactive, and being so quick to dish out disinformation and misinformation just because he can't have his own way? But unfortunately, the Integrity Commission Act was passed into law without following the advice of Marlene Malahou Fort, who told them something is wrong. So PNP, they've always had this practice of stacking up the public bodies with all of these PNP people, and we see it play out in the media from the NIA, the Integrity Commission, the JAMP, all of these civic groups, just like Alun Asamba did say.
I challenged the business community to set up a civic committee, and it's called a civic committee, but I made sure that it is full of PNP people because we have an agenda.
Same agenda. Why Julian Robinson and Morris Guy wanted to keep the Auditor General in the IC to carry on the PNP dirty work, the Pickersgill Committee work. So Mark Golding them, just like in the case of Dennis Chung, they feel very threatened because now the statutory bodies will not just be there to serve their purposes. So what they look at everything as now is that now that decisions are being made and they're now streamlining roles within the government or within the statutory bodies to ensure that they carry out their functions and their purpose, the right and the proper way. Mark Golding, they're mad because guess what? The more they continue with the systemic issues, the more things will continue to be skewed in favor of Mark Golding and the PNP. Oh, no need for come down, PNP and Mark Golding. Time for you to learn to achieve things on your own merits and on the merits of your work, and not as a result of the cronyism and nepotism that's deeply rooted within the PNP, the very thing you're trying to accuse Dr. Andrew Holness and the JLP of. Mark Golding and move like and no common sense. Look what we just find out now about the 32 bank accounts. Remember, say we not even touch upon that yet, because we're going to talk about some of them issues here in more depth in the live conversation them. So if you don't subscribe to the show yet, make sure so you go ahead and do so right now and make sure you hit the like button. Make we move on to other news. See, First Rock now decides say them not take no apology from Julian Robinson. Them decide say Julian have to go pay up big money. So I hope Mark Golding ready for give him at least 1,000 apiece out of 32 bank accounts, even though I know 32 grand case. So we see one news update with Julian say he now pay that the money there. So we are look forward to that the court case there Of course, the civic group them attack a bag of things as expected. So them put out something in the newspaper about tyranny. That is how they describe or they frame the whole idea of streamlining the work of the Auditor General. But we know what hand them a play. The Pickersgill Committee is under siege. PNP said time come, but I really more like time catch up on them, Yeah, man. They've always had the advantage of using the public bodies, the PNP politics of purity or the Pickersgill Committee. They've always used these bodies to their advantage. So Mark Golding them and the real PNP insiders, them understand what this means for their way of operating. You have to understand that the reason why the PNP has been able to win state power so many times is that them have the media upon them side, the civic groups on them side, and everything. The Integrity Commission on them side, all of these statutory bodies. That's the whole idea of the Pickersgill politics of purity. So that is what is on the siege right now. That is what the Integrity Commission, the NIA, and all of them, they've been built on. Just 2 days ago, Mr. Daniel Archer from the NIA, she was also talking about the Dennis Chung situation. And the one thing they cannot do is to present logical, coherent arguments why they have such a problem with these things. So we hear Cliff Hughes talk about it, him not agree with them. So it's a fight right now, and we are here for it. So family, There's so much happening in the politics right now, and everybody just have to stay tuned. Mark Golden has a lot of things that he needs to answer to, but as usual, they're going to continue to disrupt. They're going to continue to lie and do everything because them desperate. But we say PNP, we don't need to come down. We say third term, we say show labor rights. Make sure you continue to educate yourself on what's happening in the politics, because we know that when Dr. Andrew Holness call it, we will be ready to give this JLP government the third term for all the wonderful things that the government is doing. You go in the comment section and let me know what you think right now. This is a steady saying. Like, share, and subscribe. Steady.
Me didn't have to be a labor right. Me didn't have to be a labor right. Look here. Then me could have never be a labor right. Jesus Christ, man. God bless me.